Yo, what's up, book nerds? It's Margot from Team Epic Reads, and it's time for another book haul. What up? Somebody's just watching me do this right now. It's so embarrassing. Okay, now it's time to go through the stack of books that I got from the other publishers. Brag time! It's a decent stack this month. I have no complaints. So let's get to it. We have The Passion of Dulce by Julie Berry. I am super pumped to try this one. I hear it's historical fiction, and I adore historical fiction. So definitely adding this to the potentially read pile that is giant and huge, and I will never get through it. Also got a copy of The Disappearances by Emily Bain Murphy. Let's check out a cover of that. Just Fly Away by, who's this by? Andrew McCarthy. Wait, like the Andrew McCarthy? Like the, actor Andrew? Oh, it is! The guy from, all those John Hughes movies, like 16 Candles and Mannequin from, the 80s. This just in, I Googled it, and Andrew McCarthy was in Pretty in Pink, not 16 Candles. Different John Hughes movie, but still awesome, with Molly Ringwald. Definitely watch that one. And then read his book, because apparently he has a book now. Also got a copy of Ultimatum. One decision will change both their lives. And Everyone We've Been. I'm a little bit obsessed with the color palette on this book. Loving those pastels. And I got a copy of, I'm not sure. Oh, The Bone Witch. It comes in this cool, hold on, let's, oh. Here's what the cover looks like. The Bone Witch. Very cool. Seems very Halloween-y, right? And there's the undercover. Oh, it's a map! Oh, I love maps. When does this one come out? This one's by Source Books, March 2017. Even though it looks like a Halloween book, this one will be out next spring. I got too many things! And I got an advanced copy of The Diabolic in this really cool case action business happening here. Ah! Ugh, I think this one's out on sale now already, but this is just the galley. But I've been hearing really, really good things about this one, so definitely excited to check it out. That's it. That's all I got from the other publishers. And here's what's new from Harper. New books from Harper of the year. Got a little stack going on right here. We've got Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Coulthurst. I'm going to talk about that in a second because it was one of the books that I read this month. Also new this month is The Secret of a Heart Note by Stacey Lee, and this one is about a girl who uses her extraordinary sense of smell to mix elixirs and perfumes that make people fall in love, which sounds like the best job ever, because not only do you get to just make perfume all day, you get to make people fall in love, and that sounds so fun and awesome and sweet, and oh. I'm also really excited to read this one because I'm obsessed with perfume. I once took this class on how to make your own perfumes, and the lady said that perfumes were like liquid jewels, and I don't know why, I just thought that was really awesome. So I'm super excited to read this one. I also have The Boomerang Effect by Gordon Jack. This one is supposed to be super hilarious about a school prank gone wrong. And we have Avenged by E.E. Cooper. That is the sequel to Vanished. This one's out. And finally, the last new book of the year from Harper is Rules of the Game, the third and final book in the Endgame series by James Fry and Nils Johnson Shelton. Whew, try saying that name 3 times fast. So there's that guy. Da 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 da. Is there anything underneath? Oh, shinies. I love the shinies. So here is what I read this month. Ta-da! Got a little book stack going on here. The first book I read was Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Coulthurst. Check out that pretty cover. I'm obsessed with this cover. So this one is a fantasy standalone. I was about to say a fandalone sanity. A fantasy standalone about a girl who is betrothed to the prince, but she ends up falling in love with the prince's sister. Now that is sort of boiling down a very complicated story into a very simple explanation. But I really love the relationship between the two main characters. It is told in 2 points of view, from the princess and the prince's sister. I can't say it all. So we have Princess I'm not quite sure how to pronounce her name, so I'm just gonna call her Denna. Princess Denna, and then there's Mare. So Mare is the prince's sister who's very rebellious, and all she wants to do is train horses, and she just wants nothing to do with the kingdom and all of that crap. And then we've got Princess Denna, who is the one that is betrothed to the prince, and so she comes in from a neighboring kingdom, and when she gets there, she, all of a sudden, these like magic powers that she's had before she gets to this new kingdom, they're starting to act out of control. And her new kingdom banishes people with magic. There is supposed to be no magic in this kingdom. So now, not only is she betrothed to a guy that she's just like not all that into, she has to hide her magical abilities, and hijinks ensue. But I really want to talk about the romance between Denna and Mare because so swoon-worthy and sexy and romantic, and it's not a sort of insta-love. It's not a love at first sight kind of thing. It is, they sort of start out very wary of each other and then develop into a friendship, and then it blossoms into more, and it's very romantic, and I definitely highly suggest you guys pick up a copy of this one because it's very good, and it's a standalone. Haha! Don't you love that when stories like start and end in one book and you don't have to wait like years to find out what happens? That's what I like about it. I also read The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas this month, and I feel very lucky to have read an early copy of this book because it doesn't go on sale until February 28th, so I will talk about this book again when it goes on sale, but I just want to talk a little bit about this book now because hands down, this is one of the most remarkable YA books I have ever read. From plot to voice to characters to pace, the setting, just everything about this book works. Everything about this book is so perfect and on point and just very real and honest, and I cannot like stress enough how important this book is. It was inspired by Black Lives Matter, and the book is about this girl Star who witnesses the shooting death of her friend by a white cop. And Star lives in one neighborhood where she grew up and where her family is, but she goes to school in a completely different neighborhood, predominantly an all-white neighborhood, where she's got her friends and her boyfriend are in that neighborhood. And really the story is about when the death of her friend Khalil becomes national attention and brings all of these people in and writing, these two communities that she's a part of sort of are at odds and they collide, and she has to figure out who she is among these communities. Honestly, the thing that I love most about this story is the way that Angie Thomas writes Star. Her voice is so true and unfiltered and raw, and Angie was not censored or forced to write in a different way because it's a YA audience or anything. She just wrote the character how the character needed to be written, and she pulled it off perfectly. This book is absolutely perfect, and I cannot wait for you guys to read it. I know it's December and all, but I should not have worn this sweater because, like, if I took this off, it would just be, like, pit stains forever down in here because it's so hot in here. Oh my god. I just get too excited and hot about the books. I also got really into skincare and like beauty products this month because, you know, Black Friday and Cyber Monday and all those deals and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, I have to buy everything. And a coworker of mine turned me on to this book, The Little Book of Skincare by Charlotte Cho, which I basically just sat down and read cover to cover in one sitting, and it's all about Korean skincare and Korean beauty. And I am now obsessed with this book, this author, and her site, SoCo Glam. If you guys haven't been there and you're like looking to change up your skincare routine, definitely go check that out. I feel like I'm like doing like a weird plug for something that's not a book, but there is a book. See? Haha, there's a book. And it's all about just like beauty and skincare and knowing what your skincare type is, and her travels to Korea and just all the good fun stuff. So if you're like totally into the beauty products and like skincare and all that good fun stuff, definitely check this one out. I'm really glad I picked it up because I feel like it's gonna change my like whole like face game routine action. So we'll see if it works. I'll have to let you know. So if you watched my last list video, I talked about all of the books that are super popular that I have never read, and there were like hundreds of comments that were like, oh my god, you haven't read Harry Potter. And I was like, oh my god, I know I haven't read Harry Potter, I'm crazy. But then I was like, okay, I'll read Harry Potter. So I am in the middle of it. As the recording of this video, I am in the middle of the very first Harry Potter book. I am on page... what am I page? Page 131. I'm at chapter 8, which is The Potions Master. And I want to talk to you guys about it, but I'm going to do an entirely separate Harry Potter video when I'm finished with the series, because I feel like it warrants its own video since I've never read it nor seen the movies. So I'm in the middle of this one. I am also in the middle of The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. This is the galley for it. This one doesn't go on sale until like June of 2017. So I'm not going to go too far into telling you guys what this one's about, because I don't want to get you too excited for a book that you won't be able to read for 9 months. But let me just tell you that I am super in love with Monty, who is this guy, and Percy, his BFF, that he is in love with, and all of their shenanigans and their big European road trip that they go on in the 1700s, and all of the craziness that happens. Oh, you guys, this book is so fun. I'm only, how many pages? I'm only 129 pages. I'm on the 8th chapter of that one too. Who knew? So I'm not completely done with this one yet, so I will talk about this one later, closer to when it gets, you know, closer to when it goes on sale. So in the meantime, let's just like gawk at this cover a little bit more, because I'm like in love with it. I'm like so in love with it that I can't even talk right now. I'm like So yeah, that's it. That's it for me for what I've read and what I'm currently reading, because I'm sort of in the middle of a couple of things, but here they all are in rotating fashion. So because I'm still only on the very first Harry Potter book, I'm not gonna do a voting thing for what I should read next, because what I'm gonna read next is the second book in the Harry Potter series. So again, keep an eye out for an upcoming Harry Potter only video where I talk about and share all of my thoughts about what I think about Harry P, because I know what things are now and it's really exciting. So anyway, in the meantime, hit the comments below, tell me what you guys are reading, don't forget to subscribe, and just general book shimminess, and happy end of the year stuff, and cue the horse dancing. Alright, I'll see you guys next month.